King Felipe VI of Spain begins his official visit to the Baltic countries. Princess Stephanie of Monaco presides over a graduation ceremony in Monaghetti. Queen Margrethe of Denmark attends the opening of a new ballet performance in Copenhagen. And Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg makes a surprise announcement regarding his future. All this and much more coming up next on your Royal Daily News. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing well today. If you're new to my channel, my name is Alexandra, and welcome to your Royal Daily News for Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. In Luxembourg City, His Royal Highness Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg announced that he has appointed his son, His Royal Highness Hereditary Grand Duke Guillaume of Luxembourg, Lieutenant Representative, beginning in October 2024. The Grand Duke made the surprise announcement during the 2024 National Day ceremony at the Luxembourg Philharmonie in front of members of the Grand Ducal family, members of the government and parliament, the Municipal Council of Luxembourg City, the Council of State, the Judiciary, and the Diplomatic Corps accredited to the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. This is the fifth time in the history of the Grand Ducal family that the sovereign has appointed a lieutenant representative. The last time was on March 3, 1998, with the swearing in on March 4, 1998, of a then His Royal Highness Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg. On October 7, 2000, the late Grand Duke Jean of Luxembourg abdicated in favor of his son. So, what does this mean? What is a lieutenant representative? Well, to be clear, the Grand Duke is not abdicating. Yet. The Grand Duke is handing over his official duties to the Hereditary Grand Duke, but he is still the head of state. According to Article 42 of the Constitution of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, it states, quote, "The Grand Duke may be represented by a prince or princess of the blood, who will have the title of Lieutenant of the Grand Duke and must reside in the Grand Duchy. The lieutenant representative takes an oath to observe the Constitution before exercising his or her powers. The Grand Duke therefore delegates his powers, and this replacement can be either temporary or permanent. The Grand Duke is free to attach to the mandate any limitations he deems necessary. The powers of the lieutenant representative are delimited by this mandate, and the provisions he takes by virtue of his mission have the same effect as if they emanated from the Grand Duke himself." End quote. In Article 58 of the new Constitution of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, it states that the lieutenant representative of the Grand Duke only takes office after having taken the following oath before the Chamber of Deputies. Quote, "I swear to observe the Constitution and the laws and to faithfully fulfill my constitutional responsibilities." End quote. At the end of his speech, the Grand Duke said that it was with all of his love and all of his trust that he wished the Hereditary Grand Duke good luck. Prior to the state visit to the Kingdom of Belgium this past April, the Grand Duke sat down for a television interview in which he spoke about his future and about, well, stepping down. So, it's not that much of a surprise. The question is, when will he abdicate? If he will abdicate. I'm going to assume that it will be a couple of days after his Silver Jubilee in October 2025. It's time. The Hereditary Grand Duke is ready, more than ready. And with all the drama that's happened in the past couple of years with the Grand Duke and the Grand Duchess, Maria Theresa, yeah, it's time. Anyway, back to today's National Day celebrations. After his speech, the Grand Duke presented medals and honors to individuals from the civil, economic, and cultural sectors for their, quote, "contribution to the service of others, the community, society, and the country," end quote, according to RTL. After the ceremony, the Grand Ducal family attended a military parade on the Avenue de la Liberté. At noon, the Grand Duke and the Hereditary Grand Duke reviewed the Luxembourg army. During the parade, there were several low-flying aircraft, including an H-145M police helicopter, an Airbus A330 transport and refueling aircraft from the multi-role tanker transport unit, and an A400M transport aircraft from the 15th Wing of the Belgian Army Air Component, piloted by Luxembourg officers. In the late afternoon, the Grand Ducal family attended a solemn Te Deum Mass at the Cathédrale de Notre-Dame, with Cardinal Jean-Claude Hollerich, Archbishop of Luxembourg, presiding. On a side note, to all my viewers from Luxembourg who are watching, I hope you had a wonderful National Day. On Saturday, His Majesty, King Philippe of the Belgians, His Royal Highness, Prince Gabriel of Belgium, His Royal Highness, Prince Emmanuel of Belgium, and Her Royal Highness, Princess Eleanor of Belgium, attended the Union of European Football Associations Euro 2024 preliminary round football match between Belgium and Romania in Cologne, Germany. Their Imperial Majesties, Emperor Naruhito and Empress Moscow, Japan, arrived at Stansted Airport on Saturday to begin their 8-day state visit to the United Kingdom at the invitation of His Majesty King Charles III of the United Kingdom. Upon their arrival, the Emperor and Empress were welcomed by the Ambassador of Japan to the United Kingdom and the Lord-in-Waiting to His Majesty the King. This afternoon, the Emperor visited Japan House. According to the Imperial Household Agency, Japan House was established by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to introduce Japanese culture and traditions to the public in London. On Saturday, His Majesty King Jimny Kesar Wangchuck of Bhutan held a meeting with His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar, the 17th King of Malaysia, at Bukit Serene Palace in Johor Bahru. After the meeting, the Sultan hosted a luncheon in honor of the King's visit to Johor Bahru. In Copenhagen, Her Majesty Queen Margrethe of Denmark attended the premiere of the new Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale ballet, Clumsy Hans, at the 150-year-old Pantomime Theatre at Tivoli Gardens. According to a press release from Tivoli, it noted that Hans Christian Andersen's classic fairy tale of Clumsy Hans, also known as Blockhead Hans and Jack the Dullard, published in 1855, follows a, quote, resourceful young man who uses his wit and charm to overcome challenges, ultimately winning the princess's heart and half the kingdom, end quote. This is the 9th time Queen Margrethe has created the costumes and set designs for a ballet performance at the Pantomime Theatre. Previous performances include Cinderella, The Tinderbox, and The Swineherd. In addition, the Queen has contributed to the creation of 2 major critically acclaimed ballets at the Tivoli Concert Hall, The Nutcracker and The Snow Queen, which featured over 100 costumes and numerous set pieces. Last month, Queen Margrethe unveiled the new peacock curtain at the Pantomime Theatre, which she also designed. Clumsy Hans will run until August 25th, 2024 at the Pantomime Theatre at the historic Tivoli Gardens. Earlier in the day, His Majesty King Frederick X of Denmark presided over the inauguration of the M4 Metro Extension Line. The King arrived at Copenhagen Central Station, where he was welcomed by the chairman of the Metro Company, the Transport Minister, the Lord Mayor of Copenhagen, and the Mayor of Frederiksberg. Thereafter, the King boarded the train for a quick ride to Mozart's Place Station, where he, along with the ministers and the mayors, walked up the metro station stairs to cut the red ribbon, thus officially opening 5 new stations along the M4. According to a press release from Ritzau, it noted that the M4 extension is 5.7 kilometers long and has 5 new stations, including Copenhagen South, and Mozart's Place. On Friday, Her Majesty, Queen Mary of Denmark, hosted the annual Marathon Song in the courtyard of Vato College in Copenhagen. According to a press release from Vato College, the Marathon Song began in 2010 when a, quote, group of the college's former alumni decided that they wanted to sing the college songbook from cover to cover. This idea developed into Marathon Song, and the concept has spread to the rest of the country since then. The day is divided according to the themes, and each theme has its own song host, be it college students, Copenhageners, or well-known Danes. End quote. Oh, I love this idea. I think this is fantastic. This morning, His Majesty, King Felipe VI of Spain, began his 3-day official visit to the Baltic countries of Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia. The purpose of the official visits is to strengthen bilateral relations between the Baltic countries and the Kingdom of Spain. The official visit began in Tallinn, Estonia, where the king and his delegation held a meeting with the President of the Republic of Estonia, Alar Karis, at the Presidential Palace. This was followed by a visit to Parliament and a tour of 2 Spanish naval ships, the aircraft carrier Juan Carlos I and the frigate Blas de Lezo. According to the Royal Court of Spain, the ships are in the country within the, quote, deployment called Daedalo 24, which covers the eastern Mediterranean to the Baltic Sea, and they participate in NATO deterrence and collective defense activities and exercises. End quote. In the evening, the king attended a dinner hosted by President Karis at the Presidential Palace. On Friday in Windsor, His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, celebrated his 42nd birthday. On the occasion of his special day, Kensington Palace released a new photo of the prince along with his 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Accompanying the photo was a message from Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, stating, quote, Happy birthday, Papa. We all love you so much. Signed C.X. End quote. The fantastic photo, along with the 2024 Father's Day image, was taken last month in Norfolk by the Princess of Wales. In the evening, the Prince, along with Prince George and Princess Charlotte, attended a Taylor Swift concert at Wembley Stadium in London. I love Taylor Swift. I admit it. On Saturday, His Serene Highness, Prince Albert II of Monaco, attended the ASM Omni Sports Century Sports Festival held on the Quai Antoine I in Port Hercule. The event was organized by the Mairie de Monaco, the Prince's government, and Monaco Telecom. On Friday in Moneghetti, Her Serene Highness, Princess Stephanie of Monaco, presided over the recruit graduation ceremony of the Compagnie des Carabiniers du Prince, held on the rooftop of the Carabinieri Barracks. During the ceremony, the princess presented badges to 4 new entrants. The Carabiniers du Prince are the palace guards, who ensure the security of the princely family, honoring the family, and carrying out the various missions assigned by the family. Quote, serving means guaranteeing the sovereign and the principality a peaceful environment in which they can continue to prosper and plan for the future with confidence and enthusiasm. End quote. On Thursday morning, Their Serene Highnesses, Prince Albert II and Princess Charlene of Monaco, welcomed 22 International Rugby Sevens captains to the Palais Princier de Monaco. According to a press release from World Rugby News, 11 men's and 11 women's teams will compete in a 3-day World Rugby Sevens tournament beginning on Friday, June 21st at the Stade Louis II in Fontvieille. The tournament will, quote, decide the final men's and women's qualifiers for the 2024 Olympic Games Paris Rugby Sevens competition, end quote. On Friday, His Serene Highness, Hereditary Prince Alois of Liechtenstein, held an audience with trainees of the Swiss diplomatic and consular services at Schloss Vaduz. According to a press release, quote, the prospective diplomats and consular officers had the opportunity to learn more about Liechtenstein's politics, history, and the economy, end quote. And finally, in the south of France, Her Royal Highness, Princess Maria Carolina of Bourbon-Two-Sicilies, Duchess of Calabria and Palermo, is celebrating her 21st birthday. Born Maria Carolina in Rome, Italy on June 23, 2003, she is the eldest daughter of their Royal Highnesses, Prince Charles and Princess Camilla of Bourbon-Two-Sicilies, Duke and Duchess of Castro. Happy birthday, Princess Maria Carolina. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. And there you have it. Thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. And yes, I will be back tomorrow on Monday, June 24th, with all the latest royal news and events. Until then, I sincerely wish each and every one of you a wonderful Sunday afternoon. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, comment below, and click on the notification bell so you won't miss a new episode. Have a wonderful Sunday afternoon, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.